I'm sorry, Auntie P. I won't be able to accompany you to the hospital. My aunt lay helplessly on the gurney as I said those words to her. She motioned that it was okay, yet the sadness in her eyes pierced my heart like a sharp knife. Those were the last words I said to my Auntie P before the paramedics closed the ambulance doors. I stood there for a long time after the ambulance left, 9 months pregnant, feeling conflicted and frozen with guilt. I wanted to be there for my auntie, but I needed to go to my last prenatal appointment. I felt I couldn't miss it. Being a first-time mom, I needed to think about the health of my unborn child. Yet, I felt like I had just let my beloved Auntie P down, the one who'd always been there for me. My Auntie P was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer at the age of 40 and was told she only had a few months to live. I tried to be there for her as much as I could. Despite all our care, we watched her rapidly decline. A few days later, after I had gently declined to go to the hospital with my aunt, I was holding my newborn son in my arms when my husband received a phone call. As he listened carefully, I noticed a dim look on his face. He looked at me, he smiled, and said nothing. However, I could sense that something was wrong, but I was too afraid to ask. The next day, I learned that the phone call was news of my auntie's death. She had passed just 10 minutes after my son Jonathan was born. 10 years after my aunt's death, I'm in my living room watching TV. When I hear this specific phrase, we all need to find our purpose and live our truth now. And one sentence resonates above all else. If not now, when? In that moment, I feel overcome by emotions. And I know this message was meant for me. An image of my aunt pops in my head, our lives together, and the last time I looked into her eyes. My Auntie P and I are 10 years apart. We were raised together by my grandmother. She had taken me under her wings and loved me and had always encouraged me to go further than I believed I could. Her lasting message to me was never to fail on my dreams. Yet, here I was, 10 years later, in front of my TV. I had given up on my dream to become a wellness coach. I wondered, how could I support other women since I hadn't been able to be there for my aunt when she needed me the most? For years, I lived with grief, guilt, and regrets for not being there for my aunt the way she'd always been for me. Since I had failed my aunt in her final moments, I did not want to fail her again by not listening to her message. We all have lost people who are significant to us. They have taught and shared with us important and valuable lessons. It is not fair if we continue to hold on to guilt, grief, and regrets. Instead, we should honor them and those we're destined to serve. With my aunt's wisdom and inspiration in my heart, I rose up to my potential to be the best version of myself and stepped into my greatness. I went on to become a wellness coach and have since helped thousands of women on their journeys. The time to step into your purpose is now. If not now, when?